We're here with Conscious. Conscious.
How y'all doing? Thank you.
I'm gonna say his
Glad to have me.
name. I'm gonna say his name right.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
we're going to learn all about Conscious and everything he does in the music and in the industry in itself. So, Conscious, how you doing today?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to meet you.
Likewise.
You know, I found you because I pulled up like I typed in Spotify Conscious Music. Excuse me, Conscious Music, and all these people came up. Then you came up, so I was just randomly listening to people, and then you came up, and
Yes,
I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, this is dope. I was like, and then your stuff just kept coming up back to back. Well, all these different artists. What is this? Oh my gosh. Or all this back to back. And I was like, what? I said, oh my God, that is so dope. I said, I gotta interview him. You know, I started
I appreciate it.
Yeah, so why do you call yourself Conscious?
I think I like to call myself conscious just because I'm a person who likes to pride himself on being aware of more than just myself. Maybe if you're asking why I call myself conscious with the spelling, how I spell it,
Yeah.
instead of the normal way, Consci.
Yeah.
I used to spell my name with the normal spelling, conscious, like that, because there's always a bigger, just a bigger story than just yourself that needs real love and attention. But I had a very close friend of mine who unfortunately got shot in the head, and he survived, actually. But he's on his road to recovery. They were trying to rob one of my other friends that plays for the Detroit Lions, and he ended up getting shot, like I said. And I pretty much took the I out of conscious and replaced it with X to just constantly remind myself that there's no I in team. Because I played on several different basketball teams, and I'm a big, huge endorser in anything that deals with like family, because I feel like that I grew up with not that much of a close family. My family was divided, so anything that makes me want to feel like I'm a part of some type of camaraderie, it just makes me feel like I'm at home, because I feel like my group is a family of black sheep.
Okay.
So conscious is just something that always stuck with me.
That's dope. You know what I like about what you said is it's the creativity in what you said, and that's so important because it really shows that you are very aware of everything going on and everything around you. You are aware of how to express yourself and how to do it creatively. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Because your name means everything.
It
Because
does.
I hate to say it, but this is a very judgmental world we live in.
It is.
And if you just hear someone's name just based off of just the value off of their name, you might want to judge them. If you have someone that's like my name's Lil C, most people probably just think they put me in the category already. So just like having a strong name just already wins someone over with 80% of the battle, I feel like.
Okay. All right. So at what point did you realize that you had a love for creating music?
Creating music, I would say in high school, probably. I started making music with a childhood friend. His name was Kyle Wainick, and his parents just bought us, some basic speakers, an interface. We already had a computer, and we just went in there and we just started messing around with stuff. Like we were playing video games, and we couldn't quite figure it out, but we kind of figured it out. We figured it out as much as being able to record, but mixing and mastering and coming up with quality music, it just wasn't there yet. But I've always had a love for music, always, because my dad's been a pastor longer than I've been alive.
Oh.
And
okay.
And
it's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
My dad's been a pastor since long as I've been alive, and I've always been in the church. He's never made me officially be a part of the choir or anything like that, but just being around the choir, being around, that singing aspect, it just always made me want to be in music, and music was kind of the only thing that I could relate to whenever I went through my dark times of depression and, just feeling alone.
Yeah.
So It's always been with me ever since a small child.
I can definitely relate. I mean, growing up is so hard, and people don't understand that you need an outlet. And they took a lot of music and stuff out of the schools. Like, that really hurt, because that's where, as far as people of color, we express ourselves through music, or through art, or anything art, music related, anything dealing with creativity. That's how we express ourselves. And no matter 100%. What we're going through, this is what we did.
Yes, ma'am. And I went to a very small school, because I'm from Louisiana, and
okay,
because I got in trouble in school at a young age, they moved me more way up north to the country. So the school that I went to, it didn't even have a football team. It was so small. Needless to say, band or choir, anything like that. So the love of music was just something that really came internally.
Okay, me too. I can honestly say that. I used to sing a lot in school.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever make any music?
I haven't. That's interesting. What? I haven't been bold enough to do that. That's so interesting. I might do it tonight. Say no, I'm just kidding.
Why not? It's never too late to start anything that you love.
That is true. I never, I played an instrument. I went to Catholic school, so they made us play an instrument. So I played the flute, so I learned how to write music and reading and write music. We had to, in order to be able to play the instrument. We did the treble clef. Everybody else did the bass clef. I did the treble clef, and I don't know why I have never done that. I have never done that. You might be inspiring me to do something new.
That's. I feel like that's my only really reason that I'm even still on this earth. That's my mission from God, is to inspire people to become the best version of them. To face their fears and do what they really love.
And you're right. It is a fear, because you're like, I don't want nobody to say, "Oh, that's stupid. Oh, that sounds like crap."
The fear of judgment.
Yes. I mean, and we all get it, no matter how old we are.
Yes, ma'am.
So, sorry, I grabbed the question and lost it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Wait, why did you decide to make music your music more self-aware and not vulgar?
I think that just me being who I am makes my music a little less vulgar than the normal people who make vulgar music. And it could just be from my upraising. It could have been the music that I grew up listening to, because my grandmother raised me. And I grew up off of like Al Green, Johnny Taylor,
me too.
Usher. I was forced to listen to, certain things, because with you being a kid, you don't really have that much control over what's playing on the radio whenever you're going to and back and forth,
That's
and whenever I was in the Navy, I had to
seriously.
Sing in choir.
You did a lot.
Yes,
Okay.
So I had to sing in choir in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
So just the choice of music that I listened to, it kind of inspired me to make a certain type of music. And my dad, he was very hard on me. He was a Marine. He always told me to speak with intelligence. Don't curse that much, because, cursing shows a lack of intelligence. Expand your vocabulary, talk about this subject matter, be of something of worth. So I think that just really stuck to me. The apple didn't fall too far from the tree. But I do have vulgar music. Some of it isn't really posted. I couldn't sit here and say that I don't have vulgar music, because I have different sides of myself. I might wake up one day and someone rubs me wrong. Like, I'm going through a battle right now with my property management, and I might fly off the radar one day because I can't control my anger. Yeah. God and Satan is no different from the power struggle of good and evil, if you want to look at it that way. If you don't actually believe that there are actual beings that preside over our lives. So we have just as much as God in us as we have the devil in us. So it just depends on which side you want to pay attention to more. So I make music of love, I make music of tragedy, music of rage, hate. Sometimes it just depends on how you want to present it. That would, I guess, make it more vulgar, because you can sit there and talk bad about a woman, and you can criticize her and make her learn something instead of just degrading her at the same time. So I feel like any moment calls for a different vibe, Because, like I said, I have music in all type of different genres. Country music, I have rock music,
Really?
pop, EDM. I guess I have that fear with music
You're
as well
versatile.
as you. Yes,
You're
ma'am.
very
'Cause I don't
versatile.
know, if I come out with a whole R&B album and then hip hop here, how would the world receive me if I came out with a rock album? So
Okay.
sometimes I live in that fear as well. But, you just kind of can't care what the world thinks. You have to just put yourself out there, because you never know who you're going to inspire. And you might inspire the next person that might be the next president. It might be the next Tupac, just because you did a certain type of song that inspired them to be like, you know what, if he did it and he's a person of color and he's making country music, why can't I be the next Shabuzi? Like why not?
Right. I mean, you can't limit yourself. You have to always see that the sky is a limit. This is like the most hilarious interview ever. I'm going to remember this forever. This is the best. Oh my God. We laughed, we cried, we screamed, we danced, we did everything.
That's what it's supposed to be. That's good energy.
We got cut off, we got back on,
Man.
Oh, go ahead. No, go. Finish your last thought.
No. I was waiting on you.
New question.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your favorite song that you have created so far? What is your favorite song that you have created so far?
That might be the hardest question you could ask the artist, honestly.
Okay.
Because I feel like their favorite song is usually a song that the world doesn't really care for too much. Or it might be an unreleased song that the world might never hear. But
True.
I guess in terms of just like with who I am, I can't even answer that song, that question, because there's so many songs. I would say that my favorite
Do you have a
songs
top
would have
5?
to be- I don't.
Top 20?
Because my
Just playing.
believe it or not, my music category, it's so long, because my unreleased catalog, it's filled with, like, let me see. Here's one.
Oh, wow.
Here's a second one right here. 2.
Okay.
3.
Oh my God.
4. I have about 4 terabyte hard drives that are like completely full of music.
Are you
So I would say I have like
serious?
800 songs. Some of them are like unfinished songs. Some of them are just ideas. Some of them I may never drop, because a lot of artists, they'll forget about a song that they did last week because they're in the process of making so much music right now, and they're like, oh, that song last week, that doesn't even represent who I am today. So
how does
I don't know.
I'm so sorry. How does your inspiration, like, so you make music according to the flow of your inspiration? How often does that go past, come and go? Because you can be 1 minute I want hardcore rap, 1 minute I want country, 1 minute I want to do R&B. Do you sing too?
Yes, ma'am.
So see what I mean? So do you have songs that you sing to, that you created?
A lot. Most of my music is singing.
Okay.
I rap just because I can, and because of what hip hop really came from. It's supposed to be something that's supposed to unify the black culture, and keep people out of the streets, but it's turned into this competitive crab in a bucket mentality of rappers, because I would honestly say that gangbanging has just infiltrated the music industry so much now, to where they operate it like it's gangbanging. Like look at the whole situation with Kendrick and Drake.
That was
the most hyped moment of hip hop in the past decade almost, and it all came off of beef, and that's not what hip hop is about.
Nope.
So I mean, yeah, it was good. It brought out the excitement in hip hop again, but when you realistically look at it, it's two people who don't like each other and they're spreading hate.
It really was.
Yeah, I like Drake's artistry, and I like Kendrick's. I wish that we could get to a point where we could just enjoy the music again, instead of always making it a tit for tat. Oh, those bars weren't good enough, or he didn't say that well enough, or like when you listen to Justin Bieber, people don't say stuff like that.
No.
When you listen to Mac Miller, people don't say stuff like that. It's just always us, and I feel like we're still so shackled inside of the mind now to just break each other down, because that's what the system does to us. It makes us be oppressed with one another, we just attacking each other.
Do you know how powerful we would be if we actually stood together? How if we would just come together and just do what we did in a time when we weren't even here. We were such a powerful race of people, and it's because we were united. And these other factions, I would call it that, have just strategically tore us apart, even down to the color of our skin. And it's so disgusting because it's so prevalent now, and it's just infectious. It's like an infectious disease.
I feel like to a certain point, yes, they did tear us apart and tear us down, but you know, after you get to a certain point of mental matureness, how long will you be able to use the excuse of what somebody else did to you? We're doing it to ourselves at this point now, and the information is right in front of us. You know, like there's not. When you look at the rich and the top percentile people who are successful in the world, most people don't go around boasting fat chains or the McLaren here, or they don't sit here and try to promote cheating on women and having multiple women and stuff like that. Like that's not. We do it to ourselves. Yeah. You know, whenever we look at whenever you just look at a black male walking down the street and see another brown brother, most of the time they're not, hey, how you doing today, brother? Have a good day. You know, blessed. They don't do that. They look at each other and they mean mugging. It's because that's just what we have become to each other. Mm-hmm. And it's not 100% our fault because we are a product of our environments. You know, like why can't we have better health care? Why can't we have this? The system is built against us for us not to succeed. Yeah. But like I said, it's kind of up to you if you want to go and become what you see.
That is true. No, you're absolutely right. And I guess we can go tick for tack for this all day, you know, but we'll all be right because it's all the same perpetual wheel of nonsense that we are enduring. Now our children are doing it. It's like we are growing, us as a generation or have grown, and we're beyond it, and now we see it in the children and the youth, and now they're taking each other's lives. It's because it's in the music. Right. It's because it's in the music. Yeah. That's what the industry does. The industry, they don't like to try to promote a J. Cole. They would like to much rather promote Lil Durk, who's talking about drilling and killing and calling women the B word. And, you know, I'm faulted because I do it sometimes. But it's because of what we're listening to. They don't want to push music like that because they know that it won't sell. Right. They know that toxicity sells. They don't want to see us unified because they're scared of what we will become. I mean, I know it's off topic, but imagine if all of the black NBA stars just went and formed their own league and stopped playing for the NBA. Ooh. Imagine if all of black entertainment did their own entertainment instead of giving the man the money all the time. Exactly. I don't want to seem like I'm racist because I am very pro-black and I have a mixed child, you know. So you can't sit there and say that I'm racist. I was partially raised by a white family. I just look at things for what it is, you know. And those are our faults as a culture, and we do need to fix them. But we need to stop the agendas. There's too many agendas. Way too many. But I mean, as an artist, like whenever you're signed to a label and they're threatening to shelf you and not put you out, or they'll even kill you whenever you speak the truth. I mean, you see what they did to Malcolm X. You see what they did to XXX and Tassion. You know, whenever you start speaking things that are elevating people's spirit, they know that that's not good for them. Then they'll get into talks like Prince started a long time ago, where they say stay away from the labels because they're not doing anything but ripping you off and taking everything that you're worth. Right. Like if they're only giving you 20 to 30% of what you're actually worth, and what they got off of you was $5 billion. If they sign you for $1 million, then you should know that you're worth 20 times that. Exactly. And you have to let it go. They just have the power to be able to push it. Yeah. And you know what the sad part is? That's why they put y'all in contracts. Because once you realize, oh, I'm stupid. I'm sitting up here, you know, in this contract, then you're like, I can't get out. And then if I don't do what they want me to do, then they just gonna put me aside and not gonna do nothing. And then I can't do nothing because I'm in the contract. Exactly. You know, I mean, you could go change your name. Like Prince did. Like how many people would want to go and change their name that they spent years building up? Right. You know, but that's the thing right there that they don't understand. When labels sign you, especially in these 360 deals, they even own your namesake. They do. So that's why I tell people all the time, man, music, it's
it's 80% music. I mean, it's 80% business, 20% music. I'd even say like 90-10. You know, if you don't know, you understand your business and understand what you got going on, you'll end up in a very bad contract, and then you'll be mentally drained to where you just don't even want to do it anymore.
I mean, you're not even considered human on a contract. You're just a product.
Exactly.
People don't even understand that.
It's modern day slavery.
Absolutely.
Kanye thought was right. It's modern day slavery.
And that's a shame. But, you know, we, as a people, not just as a race, but as a people, we have to get out of this mindset, I'll do anything for money. You know, and that's the problem. That's why you got Sexy Reds and Ice Spice. I never even heard of them until I was teaching 4th grade. And they started talking about it, and it's a shame I didn't. Because I don't listen to the music I hear. I listen to what I want. I don't listen to the stuff I hear. And I was like, what are y'all talking about? And so they started explaining to me who it was, and then I looked it up, and I was like, why are y'all listening to... Y'all in the 4th grade. Why are y'all listening to that? Oh, nasty. Nasty, vulgar nasty. Not nothing that 9-10-year-old should be listening to.
Yeah, and they're just going to grow up becoming a sexy red.
Yep.
Instead of becoming something that's of more value and worth, and then you're going to have this power struggle between black men and black women. You don't support each other and this, that, and it's just always a constant clash of BS. But at the end of the day, it always falls back to we just don't support each other enough. You know, if there was more people supporting the J. Cole, like I said, and pushing them up front, we'd have more lawyers, we'd have more doctors, we'd have more pastors, we'd have more senators.
Right.
But a lot of us don't want to do that because they see the easy way out. Like I'll go sell this gram right here and make this quick flip instead of working for this man or paying thousands and being trillions in debt just to do something that I know how to do because this piece of paper backs it up. And then even if I have this piece of paper, whenever I go and try to apply to become this, they'll probably look at my name and one look at my face and push me to the bottom of the pole just because that's exactly how the system is built to work against us. So at some point, I don't even blame us for being how we are. But it's up to us to take that power. Because like I said, imagine if black supported black. If we wasn't too scared to invest in each other. If you saw that little black kid with a guitar and he actually had talent, why are you not putting money into him instead of going paying money with Popeyes?
Exactly.
Or, you know, you feel me?
Yes.
So, like I said, it's up to us to make that change, to be that change.
No, and you're right. No, I'm sorry I'm moving around so much. My phone was plugged up and I almost dropped it. But I'm sorry. But no, you are absolutely right. And I don't feel like any of this conversation is off topic at all. I think it's important because I see a lot. I'm on Instagram a lot, and I see a lot of artists that talk like this, and they're talking about conscious things. People are becoming more conscious. They're waking up and they're seeing things and they want to talk about it and they want to share the information with others. And I think like what you're doing is very important, and I really encourage you to continue. And I want you to be versatile. But what I want you to do is start releasing that music. Don't let that music sit right there. You're not promised tomorrow. You got to put your legacy out there now. I encourage you. I dare you to do it because I want you to do it that bad. You know, we are not promised tomorrow, and you got a lot to offer, and you really need to share that. You have a baby. I know you have a child, and your child needs to see you doing that. You know, you're leaving a legacy for your child, for your significant other, but for your child, and that's how you should be thinking.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand? Don't hold on to those hard drives. Set them free. Set them free.
This year, I think that I released a lot of music this year with me and one of my brothers. His name is Flash Moreno. He's a part of this label that we created called the 2XL, Two-Time Loser.
Okay.
And pretty much we've released 5 CDs this year alone, and I've released countless videos and singles in between. I released another EP that was kind of a West Coast tape, and I have a dance tape that I'm releasing next month. It's kind of like an Afrobeat vibe, Caribbean
that's very
vibe,
popular.
and then after that, I have a just an all guitar CD that I'm gonna release. Like pretty much no drums to it. It's just all the vibe, like with the guitar. So I'm definitely not holding on to a lot of music. It's just more so of getting in the right vibe to want to do it again.
Okay. So let's talk about the artists that you've worked with. Let's talk about them. Who have you worked with?
Well, as far as artists that I guess people would know, I did songs with the likes of Masego. I don't know if you've ever heard of Masego.
Tadao?
Yeah. So, this crazy story. My manager, she knew how much I ended up loving his music and his vibe. And Masego's one of those artists who I always felt like was kind of transparent. Like, you can actually know who he is through his music. You wouldn't meet him and be shocked to think, oh, he's nothing like I thought that he would be. He's a letdown. So, whenever I met him, it was like I was just talking to someone that I grew up with, kind of. We had these same conversations. He was, as big as he is, he wasn't even, like larger than life. He could talk to you. He could sit there and order Uber Eats with you. He didn't really care about, well, I got this many more followers than you, so I'm not going to get in the studio with you. And of course, like, we didn't release the song, but, he got in that booth. He played saxophone on the track that we did, a collaboration with a few other tracks. DJ Quick's son was on that song with me. But the first biggest artist that I feel like ever gave me a shot to collab with, his name is Fresh now. He used to be signed with Lil Wayne. I don't know if you've ever heard of this song called Me and My Drink. I think it was like up in the studio, Me and My Drink. But he was signed to Young Money. Okay. So I worked with other artists.
Was it mainstream? Did they play it on the radio?
No, it didn't get played. I released it on a CD that I ended up dropping on my older page, the one that's spelled the normal way of Conscxous. Okay. And like I said, he blessed me with the feature, didn't charge me or anything. Like, it was just love. But other than that, I've written for different people. I've produced for people. I've done work hand in hand with some people in 1500 and at the Sound Academy. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they produce for everyone you can think of in the game. Jay-Z, T.I., everyone. I've worked with people, but it's just a matter of having the stuff released. Okay.
Who is your favorite person to work with?
That I want to work with?
Or that you have and that you want to work with? I threw that in there. I changed it up a bit.
My favorite person that I have worked with.
Or maybe you shouldn't say that because somebody might get slighted.
Yeah, they might get mad.
They might get mad.
It's very like
it's touchy-feely. It's touchy-feely out here. They be like, "Oh, that's your favorite? Oh, okay."
People start feeling away, but people that I want to work with in the industry, and so many. Like Justin Bieber, I mentioned him before.
You did.
Like, I feel like Justin Bieber doesn't really get enough credit.
He doesn't.
That he deserves, like, because he's such a great artist, and I feel like he can't outgrow the what's the word I'm looking for? He can't outgrow the just the image that's placed on him. Like, people just won't let him be. They always want to say, like, oh, he wants to be black or this. Like, just let him be. We don't know how long we're going to be experiencing a Justin Bieber era. We grew up listening to baby, 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 oh. That's not him anymore. No. We can listen to a Justin Bieber and actually relate to what he's talking about on an adult level now. Right. So, but we grew up watching him as a kid and seeing him crash out and deal with all of the industry madness. So we don't really know what it's like to be him. So just appreciate him. Yeah. So, Justin Bieber, Future, Sam Smith, John Legend, Don Toliver, Kid Cudi, Tim, Schoolboy Q, Chris Brown, Adele.
Oh, wow. You want it all.
Like, I want to work.
You want it all. You like, I want everybody.
Artists.
But
I want to work with artists who are actually good and have a passion for the music.
Yeah.
I don't want to work with artists who just want the lifestyle for the look, if you get what I'm saying. I want to work with actual artists and artists who aren't. I don't want to work with an artist who just sounds like who anyone else could be. I want to work with a Kanye West. I want to work with someone who can actually innovate instead of just replicate.
That's what I feel sad about with the youth, because I've been doing the magazines now for almost 10 years, and I've come across a lot of different youth. I try to, like, my goal and what I do with my magazine. My magazine started off in a different path. I started working with doing investigative topics and doing forensics and things like that, but at some point, as the years went along, I wanted to change up a bit, so I got involved with, you know, the entertainment, dealing with the music and all of that, because I love music, you know. And I look at the youth, and they don't. Why are they not as creative? They're so not creative like we were. They're very much stuck in, oh, I like that beat, I'm gonna take it, even no matter who got the beat, like who made it. It could be somebody famous or just something they heard, and they won't. They're like, where are our beat makers at? Like, there are beat makers out here. You can get a fresh beat and you can do your own thing. You don't have to take someone else's stuff and reverberate it constantly over and over again with different stuff. I mean, you'll see one artist and then you'll see like 5 other people with the same beat. And you're like, why are y'all doing that? You don't have to do that. Beats are free. You can make a beat. You don't need much, you know?
I mean, honestly, if we're just being real, if you just want to keep it plain and dry, it's because they suck. Like, I mean, I'm gonna just be honest.
Shit, okay.
They're not. Most people in this game, they're not good. No. They have a group of 30 writers, or they'll say that they're a producer, but all they did was a hi-hat pattern, and then they use 67 other different loops or producers to do the work for them, and just take the ownership of that product. Yeah. Or, you know, like it's most people. I feel like it all kind of comes from their upbringing too. If they're not trained or conditioned to be good, hardworking people with a good moral compass and good principles, they'll just bow out and settle for a lower vibrational being of just, I'm gonna just copy this because it's what's working, instead of just creating something that's new and fresh that can inspire. Because they're not actual people. They have low vibrational spirits, and that's just what they'll do. They'll just steal.
That speaks volumes. People don't understand about your vibration. Your vibration dictates your success. And if you have 100%. A low vibration, you're not going anywhere. I don't care how much money you making. That money it's going to dry out because you're not blessed. You know? Mm-hmm. And people don't understand that. They think, oh, I can be grimy. I can do all this to people. I can step on people and do whatever I want to them. And all. No, you can't. It's going to reverberate. It's like
especially in this industry as well too, because in this industry you kind of have to like you gotta kiss, you know, you gotta. It's so and crazy because you never know what person you might meet in this industry, and you just being yourself or just not tolerating some BS that you would normally tolerate, they will blackball you, or you never know what type of person holds that power over you to where they're like, you know what, I was with this person, and just because you're a woman and you turned them down in the studio and didn't want to have sex with them, they'll completely shun you from the whole industry. And so it's like you kind of have to play the game to get in the game sometimes. I feel bad for women in the industry, honestly, but yeah, that's how it is. Because I know a lot of people who are so talented, but just because their personality isn't like, they'll never go anywhere.
So what advice would you give to anyone who wants to become a music artist?
Make sure that you're doing it from a place of pure passion. Don't do it just because you want the lifestyle, the cars, the women, you know, the admiration. Make sure that you're doing it for something that's deeper than just that, because if you don't, you're going to crash and burn. And I would also say to never sell out. Don't sell your soul, and don't, limit yourself to something that that's not going to be what's the best for you, you know, and never give up, because as soon as that, you know, you might be striking gold the minute that you turn around and don't swing that axe one last time. So just never give up, and make sure that you stay inspired to do something that's going to inspire somebody else.
Beautiful. Beautifully spoken. Love it. Let me see. So I was trying to get into the streaming services. Like, so how do you think the internet has affected music and streaming services as well?
I feel like the internet, it's like a two-sided sword. Like, it's good and it's horrible, because it kind of forces you to be an influencer first now, and to focus on the artistry kind of last. Like, labels are looking at you as, if you don't even have 1 million followers on TikTok, we're not interested in you. Over if you could be the next most talented thing in the world. It's not all about talent now. It's all about who's going to sell. And even if you can have these people who could sell, they're very talented. If you're not already coming prepackaged, already ready, they're not really interested in artist development and things like that. So I feel like it's bad in that sense, but it's also good on the flip side because we're in a time period now to where exposure is at an all-time high. All you have to do is just be on the internet, posting and being present. But that doesn't mean that you're going to become an overnight sensation every night or just overnight, because that doesn't just happen as quick and as easily as people think. You have to actually be there grinding. I have this friend that I worked with. Her name is Nilla. She's a West Coast artist. She's very dope.
Okay.
And her music was good. You know, she was getting love, but her content creation is really what made her skyrocket.
Really?
And she went from like one of my great friends, he was telling me that she went from like 10,000 followers to like 150,000 followers on YouTube in a matter of like 8 days, just from content creation starting to blow up.
Wow.
So, yes, ma'am, it could be a very good tool, but at the same time, for people like me who just feel like it's very gimmicky to have to walk down the street and rap like, why can't I just expose my artistry? Right. I feel like it's just like a constant struggle, like waking up to go to a 9 to 5 every day, having to do this gimmicky stuff just to get my music to be heard.
That's right. It's like you're a marionette puppet, on the puppet that's on the strings, and you're constantly being manipulated and forced to do things that you would knowingly never do, and it makes it all the more annoying because
I hate it.
You know. I mean, I've done so many things. I'm actually bored. I can't even lie. Like I've done computer repair. I have a bachelor's in IT. I've done, oh God, I've worked in all these different industries. I've had many different jobs. I've worked around many different people, you know. And after a while, you're just like, what else? What else is there? But this is when we have to trust in God. To take all of everything that you have learned, everything that you have created, everything, and do something that God wants you to do with it. It's not you don't got the reins anymore. You gotta let God have the reins, and God will guide you where to use you, because he done trained you. Now that's why you went through all of that. So now, it's time for you to let him have his way. So if you ever get to a point that you're stuck, you might feel what you feel, like you said, the depression and stuff, because it might be something that God wants you to do, but you're not listening. So so you're feeling sad because things that you're trying to do is not working out the way you want it to work. And God is like, oh, well, you're going to keep feeling like that until you listen to me.
Right. Exactly.
So I don't know where that came from, but, that's just what I pick up.
Yeah, that's why a lot of times whenever I pray to God, I always speak to him in the manner of, giving me vision to be able to see what he wants for me, not what I want for myself.
Right.
That way I'll be able to accept my walk of life instead of just being mad because I saw my life going this way. Well, this is never what was meant for you. Right. You just desired that. So being able to take myself away from that at a younger age kind of kept that away from me, because I've never really been in the position of my life to where I was like, man, I hate what I'm doing for too long. I always hated what I was doing with the plan. That way I could be where I'm at today, early in my life, doing what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I went to the Navy. I worked in the oil field. I did this and that just to be able to have a car and provide for myself. But it all built up to me getting here to California to be able to be in the industry, to work, doing my passion that way. Work doesn't feel like work.
Right.
So, yeah, that's
awesome.
That's a huge part. Being able to distinguish between what God wants for you and what you want for yourself. And I always felt like God wanted music for me, even though the devil runs the music industry. Yeah. Everybody knows that. The devil had every part of his body was a different musical instrument. Everybody knows that if you have any type of sense or knowledge of the Bible. And most people, whenever they saw me, especially with me growing up, they was always telling me, you're going to be just like your daddy. You're going to be a good preacher. You speak well. You can articulate yourself. And I just never felt like me being behind the pulpit was me.
Me either.
Me being behind the microphone is me. I'm still doing God's work. It's just in a different lane.
Okay.
So,
I feel you on that. I kind of thought at one point in my life that God wanted me to do that, but I realized that the only reason why I can't do ministries is because people scrutinize you a little bit too much for me and judge you, and it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of all eyes on me. Everything you do is being criticized, and I just enough is enough. Like, you know, if I'm here for God, I'm here for God, and I'm not here to please you and what things are supposed to look like. So I do feel you on that. You know, I think you're on the right track, and I think that, you know, we're going to wrap it up. I know somebody wants your attention.
Oh, no. We're good.
We're good? Oh, okay. Let's see. We still got 1 minute, okay, before this cuts off. Oh, wow. All right. So, any last thoughts? You got 1 minute.
No, I think we covered a lot.
We did.
Honestly.
We did.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot. It was great meeting you. A pleasure. You know, I'm definitely interested to see, you know, how we can work together more in the future, because I feel like there's a lot of room for that.
I have other platforms that I'm working on. I came up with an idea to start internet TV magazine. I have physical magazines. I have the digital magazines and stuff like that. But I want to do an internet show. You know, I would like to have someone to do the show with me. I mean, you're here. I don't know what your schedule is like or whatever, but I'm getting ready to start doing some other stuff too. But if I could collab with you in that way, we could really get a message out. You know,
oh, yeah, of course.
We can talk offline, and I can tell you about it. But you know, I think it'll be great. But it's better with two people, not one. Yes. I see people try to do it by themselves. You know, you got to flow off each other.
Yeah, I'm down. You got my number?
Okay, we'll do.